Dear students, in this lecture I am going to discuss slip test. Slip test is used to get the values of xd and xq of a salient pole synchronous machine. The connection diagram for this test is shown here. This is rotor part and this is stator part. The field winding on the rotor is kept open circuited and a voltmeter is connected across it. The same rotor of a salient pole machine is shown here for two poles. So this is cross sectional view. So field winding conductors are shown here, right? This is cylindrical. So the field winding conductors will look like this. This rotor is being rotated by a prime mover at a speed nr slightly different than synchronous speed. Different means slightly lesser as shown or slightly more than ns, to keep the slip as low as possible. So generally slip is kept between 0.5% to 2.5%. This is auto transformer through which three-phase AC supply is provided to the three-phase stator windings. In this test, we are providing three-phase AC supply at reduced voltage, generally 20% to 30% of V rated voltage. Why reduced? In salient pole machine, it is not so easy to maintain a slip in this range, very low slip, because the reluctance torque due to saliency will always try to bring this nr equal to ns so as to get zero slip. So to reduce that effect of reluctance torque due to saliency, we are going to provide reduced supply voltage. Though reduced supply voltage, but the supply is balanced. So three-phase balanced supply is provided to the three-phase balanced winding, stator windings. Hence, a rotating magnetic field will be produced. This rotating magnetic field, represented by here, will rotate at a speed ns, that is synchronous speed. So slip speed will be ns minus nr, where nr is the speed of this rotor or rotor conductors by which it is being driven by this prime mover. So the slip ns minus nr upon ns is maintained as low as possible in this range. This rotating magnetic field will cross the air gap and will link with the conductors of field winding on the rotor. As there is difference between the two speeds, rotating magnetic field which is having a speed of ns and conductors placed on the rotor which is rotating at nr. So due to this relative speed, EMF will be induced in the field winding conductors, as these conductors will observe a relative motion between these two, field and conductor. Hence, as per Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, EMF will be induced which will be proportional to the difference of these two speeds. Fine. This induced EMF can be sensed with the help of this voltmeter connected across these two terminals of field winding. If this alternating nature of EMF measured by this voltmeter is having a small value, it means direction of rotation of the two, that is rotating field and rotor, are same. Otherwise, we need to change any one direction. If the reading of this voltmeter is not small, it means the two directions, direction of rotating field and direction of rotor, is not same. So, we need to change any one of these two. If we want to change the direction of rotating field, then we need to interchange any two supply terminals, so that phase sequence will be changed, hence the direction of rotating magnetic field will be changed. Or alternately, we can change the direction of rotation of rotor by means of prime mover. Fine. As discussed, that for this case, when NR is slightly lesser than NS, this will be positive. It means rotating magnetic field is rotating at higher speed than NR. So, the axis of this phi A will alternately align along D axis and Q axis, as the two speeds are not same. So, at a particular moment of time, it will align along D axis and then along Q axis, then along D axis, Q axis, alternately it will align. So, consider the two cases. Case 1, when, right here, case 1, when axis of phi A is aligned along D axis. So, in this case, the air gap will be minimum. So, the reluctance offered will be minimum, and hence the current drawn from the supply, which is being measured by this ammeter connected in series, will be minimum. How? I am going to discuss it now. See, the EMF equation E is 4.44 F phi kW winding factor turn per phase, right? And this is nearly equal to terminal voltage V. So, from here, if we want to write phi, this field, that may be written as, we may take V upon, take F together and remaining terms 1 upon 4.44 kW T, all constant, winding factor is constant, turn per phase once winding is designed constant. So, if we will keep this ratio as fixed, V by F ratio as fixed, and this is constant, it means phi will become constant. This will become constant. Observe here, whatever AC supply is impressed, though reduced, but the RMS value is fixed, right? So, we can say that we have fixed the V, and supply frequency, let us assume 50 Hz, that is also fixed. So, we have fixed this ratio so that this phi A is constant. And we know that this phi can further be written as MMF upon reluctance. That is, MMF is number of turns NTIA for armature upon reluctance. Number of turns is constant. So for this case, as discussed, that the air gap is minimum, that is when the axis of rotating magnetic field aligns with d axis, the air gap is minimum, hence reluctance is minimum. So if reluctance is minimum, let us show downward arrow, minimum, it means if this will be minimum, then current drawn will be minimum, so as to keep this constant. As discussed, this phi, the same phi is constant here. So to maintain a constant phi, if reluctance is minimum, then IA, armature current, will be minimum. So if we will observe the reading of this ammeter, the moment when this case happens, it will show the minimum value of armature current. At the same time, you may write IA minimum. At the same time, if current through this lead is minimum and this current is being drawn from this supply, so the corresponding drop in auto transformer winding will be minimum. And we have connected one voltmeter across these two phases A and B. So if we will observe the drop across these 2 points A and B, line voltage, so out of the total impressed voltage, line voltage, some drop will be across this, some drop will be across this, and some drop across leads which may be ignored, the remaining will appear across these terminals. Apply KVL, this drop plus this drop plus this drop plus this drop coming from here is equal to 0. So as discussed, in this case the IA drawn is minimum, hence the drops across leads and auto transformer windings will be minimum. So out of these voltage drop, most of the drop will appear across this. So at this instant, the voltmeter reading will be maximum. Let us consider the second case. Second case, when axis of phi A aligns along Q axis. So along Q axis, air gap is maximum. In other positions, air gap is in between this and this. So for this case, air gap is maximum. So reluctance offered to phi A in crossing the air gap will be maximum. So we may write reluctance is maximum. In this situation, when reluctance is maximum, so in order to maintain this phi as constant, the current drawn from the supply will be also maximum, right? Maximum upon maximum will nullify it. So current drawn will be maximum. So at this moment of time, the reading of this ammeter will be highest one. As current drawn is maximum, so corresponding drop here and here will be maximum. So out of this drop, voltage drop, supply voltage drop impressed across these two terminals, most of the drop will appear across this and leads. So this drop will be minimum. So at this moment of time, the voltmeter reading shown will be observed as minimum. Fine. So from these two readings, one set of this and another set of this or this corresponding to these two cases. For case 1, which was the case when axis of phi a aligns with d axis, so we may write ZD for d axis, let us say ZD is equal to V per phase, right here phase, and this reading is coming out to a maximum, max, upon this reading is I phase, and this reading is coming out to a minimum, right here IA min, IA phase mean. Similarly, for second case, this was for first case. From the reading of second case, we may write ZQ when the axis of phi a aligns with Q axis. We may write this V is minimum, so V phase min upon this IA is maximum, IA phase max. Fine. Once ZD and ZQ are obtained, then XD may be evaluated as under root ZD square minus RA square, and XQ is equal to under root ZQ square minus RA square, where RA is armature resistance, which can be obtained using DC test already discussed in the previous lecture. Fine. The readings obtained so far may not be accurate. We have used voltmeter, we have used ammeter. So because of inertia effect, the readings observed with these two instruments, voltmeter and ammeter, may not be accurate. So alternately, we may use oscilloscope, which I am going to discuss in next part of this lecture.